Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Andrew Green, representing 94.5 The Buzz. Today I'm doing interviews a little bit different, but I am super excited about today's guest. You may know him from playing with Marilyn Manson, and currently he is playing with Rob Zombie, but he's pretty iconic himself. I am on the phone with Mr. John 5. Man, it's a pleasure to be talking to you. How are you doing today, John?
I am doing well. I am doing well.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, when I texted you a few minutes ago, you said that your bus has a flat tire.
Yeah, we woke up, and when you usually get a flat tire, you'll feel it or something, but I didn't even know. I was just getting up as I get up, and I guess the bus had a flat tire. So we're just sitting here on the side of the road. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but I didn't even know. I didn't even feel anything. So, but we're just waiting to have it changed.
Yeah, do you even know where you're at right now?
I don't. I think we're in tropical Missouri or something like that. So I don't know where we are.
Yeah, that's the pleasures of touring, right?
Yes, it is wonderful. I love it, and it's fine. We're having such a great tour, such a great time, and there's been no problems except for the flat tires, so I
Yeah.
can't complain.
Yeah, so I've seen you technically 3 times. I've seen you twice with Rob Zombie, and that was at those outdoor amphitheaters with over 10,000 people. And then when I saw you this past Sunday in Houston with your own band, we were in a small, tiny little cramped club with like 300 people. And which type of environment are you most comfortable playing in?
I get the best of both worlds, that's for sure, and I'm so happy and honored to be able to play these massive venues. And then I love, because I love playing guitar so much. It's just all I do. It's just constant. I get to go out and play crazy guitar shows
Yeah.
for the fans, and people love it, and I love it. And I think that people really can see that it's from the heart and it's
Yeah.
genuine, that I love it so much. So, I love it both. I love it both ways. It's just an honor to be able to get up on stage and play for people, and I'm so happy to be able to do it.
When I saw you, just the things you do are super crazy. Like I saw you play the guitar with the violin bow. I know you have a song called where you play the song behind the nut of the guitar. And then not
Yep.
to mention your latest single called Zoinks, where you're basically like slapping the guitar like it was a bass. What gives you the inspiration and these ideas to do these, I don't know, I guess experiments on the guitar?
I love listening to other guitar players. I love looking through Instagram of guitar players,
Yeah.
people all around the world, looking at what they're doing, looking at this guy, looking at that guy, going, oh my God, this is so cool. People on other sides of the world just doing things that are so unorthodox and so
Yeah.
different. And, look, I'm always looking for inspiration, and I've been inspired my whole life by other guitar players, and that's what it's about. From Chet Atkins to
Mhm.
Buckethead to Roy Clark to Paul Gilbert, anybody. I just love listening to all guitar players.
I know that you're a big Eddie Van Halen fan. Am I correct?
Absolutely, aren't we all?
I think Eddie Van Halen is the best of all time, but who do you think's the greatest guitar player of all time?
Well, it's such a difficult question because each person, Jimi Hendrix is a genius.
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen is a genius. Yngwie Malmsteen is a genius. Chet Atkins is a genius.
Yeah.
Because they all bring something. So they all have their own style and they all have their own sound, and that's what makes a great guitar player.
Definitely.
It's just something that is unique, and someone that changes the world. Someone that changes the world with that instrument
Yeah.
and has epiphanies for people.
Mhm.
And I think that's what is important. That's what makes these guys the best.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix, he changed the world. Eddie Van Halen changed the world. Yngwie changed the world. All these people just have changed the world, and it's wonderful.
It really is, man. Yeah, let's talk about your new album real quick. I know that you played 2 of your newest songs at the show. You played Zoinks and I Am John 5. But on your newest record, Invasion, which comes out in late July, what else can we expect from it?
Well, the second video I released is called Crank It. And I did play that in Houston, and that song, you should look it up because that song is the second single, and people just are going crazy for it. So I've been releasing a video and a new song once a month, and so far we've had Zoinks, Crank It, and I Am John 5. And the next one is going to be called Speedball, and it's totally like Metallica sounding type, really fast, really aggressive. So it's a lot of fun. We're just, releasing music nowadays like this I love it.
Yeah.
I would hate to go back to how it used to be, because now you can, release songs once a month and videos and, have fun that way and keep the album alive. And I think that's a really cool thing. It's like, hey, here's a new song for everybody, and hope you guys like it. If you don't, there'll be another one next month. So it's a lot of fun to do it that way.
Did I hear this correctly? On the next Zombie album, you were laying down some banjo tracks? Was that for Zombie or was that for you?
Yeah, no, I believe there is some Zombie on that, some banjo on that Zombie record. So it's going to be, I'm telling you, this Zombie record is heavy, and it's got the best hooks on it, and we're super, super, super excited.
Yeah, you can't get much heavier than a banjo.
Yeah, well, if it's done correctly, it's an amazing instrument. I mean, I love the banjo. I've obviously played it at the Creature show and all that stuff. Really, really cool. I love anything with a string with it, string on it. I'll pick it.
Yeah. Can you play the harp?
I can a little bit, but I'm not going to break it out.
I think you totally should.
Yeah, maybe I'll break out a harp next tour.
You should, man. That would be awesome to see. Yeah, I think it's really cool that you play with, Marilyn Manson. That's pretty much how, a lot of people know you is from playing with Manson. You were playing with Manson through an interesting time. I think it was during the time of Manson's career in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's when he was blowing up the radio and the TV. But that's also when people were, the second coming of the Satanic Panic. And that's when he was getting blamed for Columbine and all these, horrible events. What was it like, playing with Manson during that time?
Well, it was like New Year's Eve every night. You never, it was definitely a party. It was definitely crazy. You didn't know if the show was going to happen. You didn't know if the show was going to, go on for more than 3 songs. It was a crazy, crazy time. And, I wouldn't trade it for the world. He gave me my name, John 5, and it's, I'm so happy that I was involved. It was an honor, and it was crazy, and it was a blast. So it definitely was a party, that's for sure.
I heard in an interview that you did with Chris Jericho that you remained sober during that whole time.
Oh yeah, I've never had a drink. Still to this day, I've never had a drink or a drug or anything. Yeah, it was. It was crazy, just to see all that through sober eyes. It was like, whoa, this is like really intense.
Dude,
really intense.
Yeah. Would you mind sharing something that was really intense that's radio friendly at the same time?
Well, I mean, there was, we got a video guy on the road with us first tour I did with them and the first show.
Yeah.
And he was like testing out his video camera, and it was all the girls were in my hotel room because I was a new guy, so everybody put all the girls in my room. So this one girl was like, "Oh, I have to, pee and stuff like that." So the guy with the video camera was like, "Oh, pee in this trash can. Let me check out the, see if this thing works." And like, yay. And then she drops her pants and she has a dong. So we were like, "Oh man!" So the whole place is cheering and stuff like that. So it was just things like that happened all the time.
Yeah. Was there a time where you ever, feared for your safety when you were, with them?
Oh, absolutely. I was let's see, God, how can I explain? We were doing Columbine. We were doing Colorado, not
Oh,
Columbine. We were doing Colorado, Denver, a Denver show outdoors, and
is
I've
this
never seen anything. What's that?
this is after Columbine?
Yes, this was after Columbine,
Oh,
and I've never seen anything still to this day what I saw. When we went on stage, there were so many helicopters, news helicopters, like in the sky filming us. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was a weird. It looked like a war. It looked like a war or something. It was
wow.
crazy. It was insane.
So they just had.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Do you think they were expecting
I
something to happen, or?
I think so. I think so. It was crazy. That was the only time I really thought, uh-oh,
Yeah.
I hope everything is cool.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Manson, it was announced not that long ago that again this summer Manson and Zombie are going to tour together again for the second summer in a row. I know there was a few issues with Manson last summer. I know he canceled his set right before he went on. I was at the Houston show where he did about 5 songs. I think he was sick, so he didn't perform. How is it touring with Manson these days? Like, do you guys talk, or are things good, or how is it?
Oh, absolutely. We are very good friends, and he is a wonderful, wonderful guy. And seriously, he was sick. People
Yeah.
do get sick on the road, and but I will tell you, and you could see video
Yeah.
on this last tour. His voice was phenomenal, and I thought he was great. I thought
Yeah.
he really killed it, and I told him, I was like, this is some of your best work. This
Mhm.
is amazing. You're singing great, and I would say congratulations all the time.
Yeah.
He was doing that well. Manson has been killing it lately. I'm like, God, dude, you sound awesome,
Yeah.
and it sounds just like back in the day. And he really did great on that last tour, and
Yeah.
this tour it's gonna be probably even better than that one.
So let's talk about. I know you're a huge Kiss fan. Let's
Right.
talk about the Instagram account you have, Knights in Satan's Service, where every day you post vintage Kiss artifacts, and
That's right.
it's your personal collection, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's something I started January 2018, January 1st. Okay,
Mhm.
so I made a pact with myself that every single day starting January 1st, I'm going to post something from 73 to 82.
Yeah.
Okay, and every day, doesn't matter if I'm in China or South America or Australia, I will make sure I post every single day, and that's what I've done. And I did it today, and I still have a perfect record. I haven't missed a day yet.
Yeah, it's really cool the stuff you have on there, like old vintage shirts, ticket stubs, anything you can think of Kiss. How did you get all these vintage Kiss artifacts?
I've been a collector. I have that collective soul, that obsessive compulsive thing, just like with the guitar, and it's a really fun hobby to have on the road, talking to these Kiss collectors, talking to this guy, talking to that guy,
Yeah.
because there is a lot of free time on the road, and
Mhm.
since I don't do drugs or and all that stuff, so it's really wonderful to have this kind of hobby, if you will.
Yeah.
And you meet a lot of great people, and you have a lot of fun doing it. So it's and it takes you back to your childhood, and
Oh
there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with a little nostalgia. And I believe that's what eBay is invented for, is nostalgia. Oh, I remember this Stretch Armstrong, or this Rock'em Sock'em Robot, or this baseball card I had as a kid, and it's just a wonderful thing to do, is to collect all this stuff. And I have a lot of fun in posting it and giving people a little history lesson on this, or taking them down memory lane, and they'll say, oh, I remember I had the trash can, or I had the
Yeah.
dolls, or I had this, that, or the other
Uh-huh.
thing. And it's a lot of fun for the people, and they get involved, and I read all the comments, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun for people.
Yeah, I saw the thing you posted today. It's a Japanese tour book.
That's
from
right, from '77.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you're on the road, do you try to go to different antique shops or something like that and look for Kiss stuff, or you get in contact with people that are selling Kiss things, or how's that? How do you collect these items specifically?
Yeah, yes, and yes on both. Yeah, people will contact me and they'll message me, and if I'm in your town and you got something cool, you'll hear knockety knockety knock on the door.
What's what's your most prized Kiss possession?
Let's see. I have Ace's cape from the Dynasty Unmasked tour,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, that's really cool. I have the German Kiss pinball machine, which they only made 500 of,
Oh
and
wow.
back in
Yeah.
70 78, back then there's only a very few of them. I have Ace's belt from when they first started. They played at the Coventry and the Daisy,
Yeah.
and just really cool stuff like that. Just really, really cool rare pieces, and
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I think it's really cool that when my dad was a kid, he was a Kiss fan and he had, Kiss live on vinyl. And then when I was growing up, he kind of introduced me to Kiss, and then I was a huge Kiss fanatic. And I think it's really cool how even 40 years after Kiss started, there's still a new generation of Kiss fans. And I think it was Paul Stanley or Gene Simmons, or maybe both of them, that they say that Kiss can continue even when they're not in the band. Do you think that would ever happen?
Here's what I think. I think we were lucky enough to have the original four, and
Yeah.
it's just like Frankenstein or Dracula or the Wolfman. If you only had the original Frankenstein and that was it, but Frankenstein has gone on to so many different, so many people have played Frankenstein, if you will, but like different Gene Simmons. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it could happen. I'm not sure. I guess time will tell, so we will see what happens in the future. But I would, because the Kiss makeup is maybe even more recognizable than Ronald McDonald or
Yeah, I think
anything,
so.
or Frankenstein or anything like that. It's such an iconic thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Time will tell.
They finally announced, probably like for the fifth time, that they're doing their final world tour. Now, John, if Paul or Gene came to you and say, "Hey, how would you like to fill in for Tommy tonight?" and you get to pick the set list, what would be your dream Kiss set list?
I would say, let's see, a fine question, by the way.
Thank you.
Let's see. I would probably open up with, I would probably just do really cool deep tracks,
Yeah,
if you
yeah, yeah,
will.
yeah.
Songs like Almost Human,
Mhm.
and maybe Plaster
Plaster Caster.
Caster. Let's see, what else? I would do, of course, Parasite.
Yeah.
I would do Creatures of the Night.
Mhm.
I would do, Rock and Roll Hell. I would do, listen to me going crazy. I would do Rock Bottom. I would do Come On and Love Me. I would do, let's see, I'm just thinking Got to Choose,
Mhm.
All the Way, Watching You, things like that. Like, oh my God, it'd be so rad. People would be like, what are these songs? But,
Yeah. Only the
the real
hardcore Kiss
crazy.
fans. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also, of course, we can't forget about, like Charisma or Hard Times or, and let's see, something off on Math would probably be like, oh God, I love Two Sides of the Coin and, Torpedo Girl. She's So European. Sorry, am I going too crazy on
Oh
this?
no, dude, I love it. As long as you don't play any songs from what's it? Songs from the Elder.
I love The Elder. I would play Dark Light. I would play The Oath. I would play Mr. Blackwell. I would play all that stuff. Yeah, I love The Elder.
I don't know how many hardcore Kiss fans there are that know every single song, but I could definitely tell that there will probably only be a handful of people that would be going nuts.
Yeah, I know. That's true. That's true.
As we wrap up here, I guess one more question. You have made a name for yourself, obviously. John Five's a pretty iconic name, and I think you are one of the greatest guitar players of my generation, I would say.
Thank you very much. It's
Yeah,
very
man.
kind. Thank you.
Yeah, man. What would be some advice you would give to anybody? Not guitar related, not really music related. What would just be any advice you would give?
I would say play what you love,
Mhm.
and because that is what is gonna make you stick to playing the guitar. Play what you love.
Yeah.
Play what you love. That's what's important, is to do that, and because you'll never put the guitar down. If
Yeah.
you just keep playing what you love, you're gonna be okay.
I think play what you love. You know, it obviously translates to guitar and instruments, but I think just in life in general, do what you love to do and don't let anyone tell you do it this way. Do it the way that you want to do it. And I think that's something that you have obviously done and you have done very well at. And yeah, after I saw your show, it inspired me not just as a guitarist myself, but just in different ways to be. Don't be afraid to do things differently.
That's what it's all about. Just have fun and do what you love, because I really think that's like the meaning of life. I know it sounds a
Yeah.
little silly, but
Yeah.
um, I really think that is so important, because that's what, if you love to make tennis shoes, or if you love to make baseball gloves and that's your obsession, just do it and you'll be happy your whole life.
Well, there you have it. A very special thanks to John Five. He was a very cool, down to earth, nice and awesome dude, and I was very lucky to talk with him. Make sure you keep an eye out for his next solo album, Invasion, coming out of July of this year. I can already tell you, those singles he has out right now, whew, very awesome. Make sure you subscribe and like the videos on me with Andrew Green on YouTube, and stay connected because more cool things are coming your way. Hey man, I'm Andrew Green, and I will check you out later.